badsecretmedia.com.
We should hate Bad Secret Media.
Gamers, welcome to the Secret Levels podcast. On this week's episode, you know what? A couple yellow lights and a green light. Let's go! Sorry, let's go. There, that's more like it.
I'm player 1, Toby.
And I am player 2, Goose.
And we do a retro video game podcast where we discuss one old video game and we go over the history, the gameplay, and we discuss some fun facts, and then we rate it at the end.
We also have a rage meter in there too. Does it make you want to shove a fucking porcupine up your asshole? I don't know. Let's find out.
Or a red shell.
Yeah, red shell too. Yeah, there's no blue shells yet. Red shells, definitely.
So, we've been gone a while.
Yes, it's been a while.
It's been a while.
We took
since I could shoot a red shell up your ass.
Unnotified. That's great. We took an unnoticed, whatever the fuck. We took a little holiday, summertime, you know? Shit gets in the way, life happens, but we are back, and now we're calling this World 2.
That's right. And we have picked I would like to call this a classic right off the bat.
Oh, it's definitely a classic.
A classic to come back to warm up our engines and get back into the groove of things.
Yes, you know, we gotta break off that old ring rust there if we were wrestlers, or the old game rust, dust off the controllers, plug a game in, you gotta blow it first. You gotta blow everything first before you put it in. That's a life tip there, right there, folks.
That's a good life lesson.
And then, yeah, we're gonna give it to you hard. The review, that is.
So, we decided to play Super Mario Kart.
Woohoo! That's the worst Mario impersonation I've ever done in my life.
Oh, no!
Exactly, I can see Luigi driving by with the death stare right now. And of course, we're doing the SNES version. There's no death stares in this one.
Yep. So, would you like me to give you some of the details on this game?
Let's jump right into the deets.
So this game was released in Japan on August 27th, 1992. North America, it was released September 1st, 1992. And the poor Europeans didn't get it until January 21st, 1993.
I thought you were going to say it until last week.
Last week, they finally got the Super Nintendo version of Mario Kart.
They finally got the Super Nintendo last week.
The developers were Nintendo EAD, and it was published by Nintendo. And like we said, it was released on the Super Nintendo.
The Nintendo Entertainment System. Now you're playing with power.
And it's also featured on the Super Nintendo Classic, and it was also available on the Wii and Wii U Virtual Console.
It definitely was, and that's where I played mine, on the Classic.
So this is a single or multiplayer game, and it is a kart racing game. And do you want to hear the story of this game, Goobs?
Oh, I've been waiting a while to say this. It's story time with Toby.
Reluctantly crouch at the starting line, engines pumping and thumping in time. The green light flashes, the flags go up. Churning and burning, they yearn for the cup. Okay, that's just
He's
the cake lyrics.
The distance. Mario's going for speed. Yoshi's all alone, throwing egg at you indeed. Toad's fighting and biting and throwing mushrooms. Okay, we can just go on.
Yeah. So yes, that was just the cake lyrics to the distance.
I had to mute my mic there, dude. As soon as I heard you start that, I fucking started pissing myself laughing.
There's no story. It's you just race. You just turn left. You just turn. No, it's just a racing game.
NASCAR. This is entertaining.
Yes.
That's going to give me some hate.
Yeah. You're going to get that one person that's like, NASCAR is entertaining.
Only when there's crashes.
I usually give you like how long it takes to beat this game, but I feel like this isn't like something that you're aiming to just beat the whole game in one,
Oh, I definitely was. I was gung-ho.
Well, I mean, I feel like
within an hour you can pretty much toast this game.
Yeah, you could really knock all the tracks out, like depending on which what is it, CC? Yeah, the CC. You could knock it out, but between an hour and 2 hours, I think, like pretty easily.
Hey, if you play this game a lot, it's just like sitting down and you memorized all the tracks. You've been playing this game since fucking childhood, so
we have, anyways.
Yes. Well, most people, I imagine if you're listening to this show, you've probably earned love with this game as much as we are.
Right. Yeah, I feel like this is one of those games that you play. If you're a fan of retro games, you've played this at least once. That's
or you
just how
played
it is.
Like a later on generation of this game. This is the foundations of something that would become very great.
Right. So speedrun.com has a record set by Scow B of 30 minutes and 34 seconds. And they beat all the courses from what I could tell. And for some reason, they play it on 2-player. And it's crazy how fast they are.
They play it on 2-player for a reason. Because the top screen is so you can skip. They usually play the bottom screen. So the top screen, they just have the character there. They wait for them to die because it's easier for them to skip towards, like, you take away 5 seconds, I think.
Oh,
if you have the top player up there, that's what the strategy is.
Okay, I gotcha.
Because you're able to hit start faster on the second button. I don't know, you skip some sort of scene.
Yeah, I know. I think they quit or something. The race. Once one of the players
they lose their lives.
Yeah. So I think you're right. I think that just helps them get past the little animation or something. I don't know, but they also were playing on the Japanese version, so I don't know if that.
I saw a race between the Japanese and English version. They did it less than a half hour.
Yeah, so there might be some kind of speed difference. I'm not 100% sure, but anyways, that's how they obtained this record. So, how about we just mushroom power into the gameplay?
Whoa, that's fast.
That was a horrible segue.
I like the mushroom power into you.
Hey, take her easy.
Phrasing.
So there are 8 characters to pick from. You've got Mario, Luigi, Princess Peach, Yoshi, Bowser, Donkey Kong Jr., Koopa Troopa, and Toad.
So who did you rock? Like, who's your bro or gal?
My main race.
Your boo.
I always go with Koopa Troopa.
Yo, that's mine too. That's why we're friends.
That's funny. I don't know why either. I've
always picked him.
As a kid, I always felt like he was faster for some reason. And apparently each character does handle kind of differently, like with different speeds and stuff. Like if you're Bowser or Donkey Kong Jr., you're bigger and like you can't run into those people the same as you can like Mario or something. Have you ever noticed that? Like,
yeah. Oh yeah, there's definitely physics there if you're a heavy person. Just like real life, as we know.
Yes, unfortunately, we know about being heavy persons. But yeah, so you got to kind of play around because it doesn't have a stats bar on there, so you can see like who's faster, which would have been great. It'd been really cool, but
I honestly picked him for his end animation where he's clanging the bottles together. Because I just think like, Mario, come out and play.
I don't know why I pick it. That's my guy.
Because we're not used to playing as someone like that. Because you see all the mainstay characters and you're like, yeah, no, I'm going to pick the offbeat person.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of it.
I'm gonna pick the outcast.
Yeah.
It's just like high school all over again, man. Dodgeball. I'm picking him first.
We related with him. That's what it is. Oh, no one likes you.
And plus, we're turtles who like to hibernate inside of our shells. There's a whole like psychological thing we can look into with our pick of Koopa Troopa.
There's a dick joke in there too about turtling or something. I'm not sure.
Well, turtlenecking is only if you're like not circumcised. So.
So this game, it's your typical racing game. You know, you've got an acceleration button, a brake button. You can also, as you're going, if you hit one of the bumpers, like is it both L and R? I just always use R.
They both work. I always use R.
R will make you do like a little hop, and you can kind of drift a little bit.
You can kind of Tokyo drift.
Yeah.
And then it also gives you a little speed burst after that. But there's no, in the later games, they have like they'll show you like, okay, it's building up, okay, you get the speed burst now. In this game, it doesn't do that, but there is, in fact, a speed burst.
And then also, you can get weapons. That's what makes this a whole franchise, really, is the items that you can pick up by driving.
Friendships will be lost.
Not as bad in this one as it is in future games, but it still can get pretty bad.
Well, it gets pretty dicey, man.
Yeah. So you can drive over these yellow blocks, and they give you a random power-up. So you've got the green shell, which is just a normal projectile that'll shoot straight in front of you.
Or you can drop it behind you.
Yeah, if you hold down, you can drop any of these weapons behind you, which is cool. So you've got the green shell. The red shell is a heat-seeking shell. You have a star, which makes you
invincible.
Yep, and you can run into people. You got the mushroom that'll give you a little burst of speed. The banana, which is obviously
I thought you were going to say like the mushroom will give you a burst of something. Then there's a banana.
No, the banana you can. It's like your oil slick. I mean, you hit the banana,
you can lob
slide
it
around.
forward or drop it behind you, and they'll slip on it if they hit it.
Right. You've got the ghost, which will turn you invisible. Well, I guess not invisible. You can still see a ghostly outline of yourself, but it makes it to where you can't be hit by anything. And you also steal someone's weapon that's close next to you.
I never, ever got that throughout, like, the 4 times I went through this game in the past couple days.
There's also the feather, which just makes you jump really, really high, so you can jump over barriers and stuff.
You can do some sweet freaking tricks with that.
Yeah,
you can shortcuts, so you can jump over barriers and, like, do quick laps. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. And then there is the lightning bolt, which is my favorite. You get the lightning bolt, and it shrinks all the characters except whoever uses it. And if you shrink everyone, you can run their asses over, but it also makes them faster if they're shrunken and small. So, but like I said, you can run them over and squish them and make them a little flat pancake for a second. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, you lose a couple seconds if you get ran over, and it absolutely sucks if you're in first place. Like, come on!
Yeah. So, the computer-controlled characters, they actually get a little advantage over you because
annoying.
They get these special weapons. And as a kid, I always thought there's got to be a button combination to where I can use these special weapons too. Like Bowser shoots like a fireball.
Oh, that fireball's a piece of shit. It will hit you so hard. Yoshi
drops eggs. Donkey Kong drops bananas.
Toad and Peach, the mushroom.
Yep. If you hit the mushroom, it'll make you small.
That's why some people use, going back to like the speedrun strats, that's why some people pick Peach up top. So you don't have to worry about one small mushroom on the track.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. And then like Mario and Luigi, they both have the star power. So the computers have more defenses against you. So
and they'll use that non-stop. It's absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
Like Donkey Kong drops his banana like all the time in front of you. It's like, get out of here, man.
There are 4 cups that have 5 different tracks, so that makes it a total of 20 courses. Each course has its own set of obstacles, and some of the courses have these little moles that jumps out of the holes.
Oh, good old Monty's.
Yeah, they'll land on your cart and slow you
She'll kill
down.
me if I don't mention this right now. So, Jenny Bean, our number one favorite fan, as she self-proclaims herself, because she's my wonderful wife and Toby's good friend, but she ran over the mole, and I'm like, honey, you gotta hit L and R to get him off of you. You gotta shake this motherfucker off of you. She's like, no, he's my friend. So she was going around the laps with the Monty mole, and she's like, he's not distracting me, he's just giving me hugs. Because she's such an animal lover, right, and such a kind person, so she was keeping it on there. I'm like, okay, it's been 2.5 laps, you're not winning, so get that off of you so he can challenge, because she was trying to take me down so hard. But then she's like, I'm coming for you. She'd look at me and give me the fingers to the eyes, fingers at you kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm coming for you. I'm like, okay, let's go. And then we start doing 100cc, and yeah, it was like almost Kirby's Dream Divorce all over again.
Well, as a kid, I used to let the mole jump on me too. I didn't realize it slowed you down.
Oh, so it definitely does.
It'll slow your ass all the way down. But yeah, they're kind of cute. They just bounce on the front of your cart, and like you said, you have to press L and R to try to like jump and get it to wiggle off.
I said, what are you giving this thing fucking head? Like it's just bouncing around on top of you.
And then there's other stuff. There's thwomps in Bowser's levels. I mean, there's a bunch of obstacles. There's grass,
including the cube or the blocks on the side of the ghost mansion.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So you can fall off the track in the ghost worlds. You can go into the grass, and that'll slow you down. The water, the mud.
But if you hit those blocks, they disappear. The next time you make that same turn, you're fucked. You're going right off the map.
Yeah. So there's a lot of really unique stuff in there.
There's deep water. There's ice and water. There's a whole bunch of shit. Ice cubes.
There's the pipes that Mario travels through that are everywhere in some of the levels. So there's a bunch of obstacles. And then we've got the 2-player mode where you can race head to head.
Yeah, you can do one-on-one, or you can do a Grand Prix. Or a Grand Prix, as we say in Canada.
You're just a pricks.
You're a bunch of pricks.
That didn't work as funny. It wasn't as funny as I thought it was going to be.
You were close.
Damn it. Yeah, you can just do it like your normal races and everything. But my favorite is the battle arenas.
See, I didn't really fuck with that too much this time.
Oh, man. Me and a couple of friends, that's what we'd do for hours, is just have competitions, have tournaments, and see who could. So what it is you've got these 3 balloons around your character, and you're driving around, and you're looking for weapons to basically just shoot each other and pop the other players' balloons. And I believe there's 4 different battle arenas.
I believe so.
Oh man, it's my favorite. I could play that all day. If there was a group of people that we could just take turns, I could play that all day because it's so much fun.
That's why they need to bring this shit onto the Switch so we can play online.
No joke. This would be a really, really fun one to play with a couple people.
I guess you can play the new Mario Kart online.
Yeah,
but, you want to play the old one?
Man, this is the classic one. This is the first one in the Mario Kart franchise. There's just something about this one to me that I love more than even when people say like, "Oh, do you play Mario Kart?" I don't think of any of the newer ones, Double Dash or anything like that. I think of this one. So I'm like, "Yeah, Mario Kart's awesome." And then people are like, "Yeah, Double Dash, the blue shell." And I'm like, "No. No, let's go further back."
I enjoy all of them, but this one's it's a granddaddy, man.
Yeah. Now some other things that I forgot to mention that I think are pretty cool about this particular kart racing game is when you're racing single player, you've got the map below you, right? So it's kind of
you can see how bad you're smoking every computer.
Yes, and it just shows all the little character sprites on there. It's really funny, but
I kind of wish it was full screen, to be honest with you. That would be
Yeah.
nice, but
it's split screen no matter how you play it. Like you cannot play a full screen mode. So that kind of does blow a little bit, but I think that's so they could have 2-player always available, you know?
yeah,
Like it didn't change the
it's a different time or day and age, so
Yeah, I feel like maybe it would have messed with the gameplay trying to, I don't know. So I feel like they made it widescreen by basically making it half the screen. Does that make sense? Cutting it in half to make it,
hey,
I don't know.
makes sense to me, but I'm no doctor.
But yeah, you can also press a button to look behind you. It's kind of like a rear view mirror also.
Yeah, and sometimes it'll just pop up anyways if some motherfucker's behind you trying to lob like a shell or a fireball at you because that Bowser's a dick.
Yeah, you'll get kind of a warning, I guess, like when something's coming at you. It's kind of neat.
You can see what angle it's coming at so you can try to avoid it.
Yeah, and which you won't be able to avoid those fucking red shells unless you just outrun it.
Oh, unless you're going over a jump.
Yeah, I guess you... Oh, yeah, there are jumps in this. You can hit the little arrows on the ground to give you a little speed boost. There's
You can
little
hit the
yellow arrows.
Yellow speed bumps, and you can absolutely fly.
If you use the mushroom right before those, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, well, same with some of them have the yellow chevrons. That's what I call them.
Yeah.
You hit those and just absolutely fly. You can use the mushroom as well.
So what is the worst part of this game to you? I'm curious on if there's like an obstacle or something that you just hate the most.
I don't really know. This game's kind of perfect for me, and it's kind of spoiling something for later on. But the deep water, I guess, in some of the levels, especially on the later levels.
Yeah, I am not a fan of the mud levels. I hate the mud levels. Let me put that out there. I can't stand the mud
I don't
levels at
mind
all.
those ones.
Those stress me out because that mud slows you down, and it's like there's mud spots. Like you're on a dirt track, but then there's muddy spots everywhere. And for some reason, those tracks really stress me out. That's the only thing that really gets to me on this game is those mud holes.
No, I'd probably replace that with the people's the computer's specials. They just use it fucking randomly all the time. When you get Luigi behind you using 3 stars on a lap, you're like, what the fuck?
That will piss you off because you can hear those fuckers coming up behind you, and you're like, motherfucker, you just used 1, and then they use 2 more, like you said. It's
I think we just gave away our fucking rage meter. Again, we haven't been doing this for a while. We're getting used to it.
Yeah, we're a little rusty. How about we talk about the music?
Yeah, let's do that.
What do you think of the music?
It's fucking classic. For the last, maybe 10 days, I've had dun, 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 the menu. Not the menu, the in-between race fucking music stuck in my head.
Yeah.
And that's even great. Everything about this music is great from when you start, the start music, before you start a race, the music while you're racing, in between the music's great, the sound effects are great. I cannot shit on the music at all on this one.
No, the music in this is pretty perfect, I think, anyways. It's fun. There's not one track on here that's just terrible. You know? It's... I
was
want
something to build upon for the next generations and generations to come to this game. You'll hear these songs again and again. Maybe not the in-between the race music, but you hear the other ones.
Right. Yeah, it's just a good... It's got a good soundtrack. It's got good sound effects. The turtle shells are very satisfying. You get the classic star noise in there. The mushroom, it's got a good speed burst noise. Everything about the sound effects and the music, I think, is pretty damn good.
All you hear when I'm playing is jumping, because I'm constantly doing that. I'm tapping that R like a motherfucker.
Yep.
So speaking of music and everything like that, well, what's your favorite level to coincide with it?
You know, I really
Or
like...
tracks, sorry. We're not
Yeah.
playing a platformer, we're racing because we're sports fans.
I really, really like the Bowser levels, but I think my favorite is the Rainbow Road, the very last level.
It is a challenging track, as it should be. It's funny that you would say, because some people have a comparison between me and you pick a Rainbow Road, so let's just leave it at that.
Well, now this is kind of dipping into the fun facts in a minute, but do you find Rainbow Road hard? I mean, is it really a challenging course? Well, and it's because
You
of all
have to
the.
leave it open-ended like that?
I'm trying to fix my mistake of wording it. Do you? Because it's got all the different colors. It's kind of distracting, but it's on a black background,
It's
so
super distracting, but once you play it a couple times, you can memorize the track. And like I said, we played this game hundreds of times, so it's not too hard for us at this point. But as a beginner, yes, this would be very disorientating and distracting.
Well, I found out that in the original development, the track was actually a lot skinnier and a lot more narrow.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so they actually widened it out because it was just, I guess it was too much
Thank
of a
you,
challenge.
Nintendo gods.
Yeah, because that one, I remember like playing it for the first time and being like, whoa, what's happening
there's
here?
no borders on the edge. Like, if you make a wrong turn, you're done.
Well, and I guess we need to bring that up. If you fall off of the stage or fall in the water, you get the, what is he called?
Lakitu.
What is it?
Lakitu.
Yeah, so it's the guy on the
I think
cloud.
that's what he's called. I'm pretty sure. The guy on the cloud who comes up and grabs you. He's a tow truck driver of the Mario universe.
He's got a fishing pole, and he just reaches down and just yanks your ass out of whatever mess you got yourself into. And he steals some coins for his hard work.
Come on, if you wreck your car in real life, you got to pay the tow truck driver.
Yeah, but they don't fish me out with a fishing pole. I mean, I guess they do.
Is that what you want in life? You want some fishermen like coming out with the boat? Here, I'm gonna pull your truck out of this ditch. Should have your chains on your tires. It's the winter, Sonny.
Now, since we're bringing up the coins, there are coins on the track and everything. Did you notice any kind of speed boost? Because I know in later Mario Kart games...
No, there is in this one. If you get 10 coins, you get the speed boost.
Okay, so the more coins you have, you can actually go faster.
It max out at 10. Like, no matter how many you have, 10's the fastest you can go.
Okay, I wasn't sure if that was the same case as the other games, and it doesn't tell you that anywhere, so you kind of have to figure it out.
Well, you see coins, you just want to get them. It's Mario, man.
Right? Yeah, you're kind of trained, I guess, huh?
And goddamn, I forget the name of my favorite level. It's the first beach level.
Oh, now I can't think of what it's called, but yeah, I know what you're talking about. That one is pretty. It's nice. It's very pretty.
Yeah, it's nice and relaxing. There's a lot of jumps over like the ocean onto the sand. It's beautiful. It's nice and quick laps.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely creamed Jenny Pie on that one.
Phrasing?
That sounds fucking bad.
Yeah, I kind of cringed a little bit. I was like, "Ugh, does he want to say that on here?"
I mean, like, creamed her, like, as in beat her.
Do you want to say that you beat her now, too?
No, like, beat her in the race, not in real life.
I can hear you with the shovel and you're just digging yourself a hole.
Yeah, no, my face is completely red right now, and I hate myself for saying everything, but hey, it is what it is. Welcome to Secret Levels, folks. I love my wife.
Beating her and... All right, yeah, let's move on.
I'll hear about that at some point.
I wish I would have wrote down a code, because there was a code that I used to do on this game, and I can't remember.
I think you wrote that down as something back in the archives, man.
Let me
Here, I'll go find it for you. You're not too good at finding things.
No, I'm not seeing my notes where I had that written down.
Is your glasses dirty?
Yeah, maybe that's the problem. I'll clean my glasses.
Ooh.
Oh.
Hello, Toby.
Oh my goodness. It is the Goobs Genie.
There's a lot of dust in the old genie lungs.
Yeah, it's been a little while since you've been released from my glasses.
At least for this kind of pleasure, not the other pleasure. He used to use you for that all the time.
Oh, shh. We're on air.
Oh, sorry, that's our secret.
Our secret level.
Ooh.
Hey, there was this really cool code I used to use, but I can't think of what it is. Would you happen to know it?
Let me think about that for a second. Oh, Goobs Genie thinks Goobs Genie knows. Goobs Genie knows all the codes. If you want an extra challenge in the Grand Prix,
Goobs Genie, stop being a pricks.
if you want an extra challenge in the Grand Prix or match races modes of Super Mario Kart, you can shrink your character. Yes, you can shrink him, give him a small genie weenie. Ooh. All you have to do is press and hold Y. Why? Because that's the button, not because I told you to. Then press A on character selection screen. Ooh, that's a hard word to say if you're a genie that's been locked up for a couple months. Ooh. Alternatively, highlight any character and press A, B, X, and Y at the same time. Ooh, small genie weenies for everyone. Ooh, wonderful times.
Oh, well, thank you, Goobs Genie. That's exactly the code I was trying to remember, because I always like to shrink down my characters because it makes them faster.
Oh, maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Maybe you just have a small genie weenie. See you later, loser. Ooh.
Oh, I don't have a small...
I know that you do.
No, come on now. No, I don't have a small weenie.
Hey, what's wrong, man? Why are you talking about a small weenie?
I'm not. I was saying I have a big weenie.
Oh, okay.
Very, very, very giant.
You just have
Hey,
to scroll over twice on the picture of it, right?
that's right. Hey, want to hear some fun facts?
Let's go to fun facts with Toby. Bring.
So, in fun facts, we have a mini segment that we have to do, Goobs. We have to play
How much is this game?
So, Goobs, I am a video game collector. You are a collector. We are going to figure out what the price of a loosey-goosey...
Who's Lucy?
She's a goose. Loosey-goosey, just the cart. Just your standard gray
American
cart.
prices.
American prices, because this is America, not your...
Let's go $23.50.
$23.50. That's a pretty good guess. I was finding prices between $15 and $20.
Okay, I should have went down a bit more. Games are way overpriced in Canada. It's hard to try to...
the American game exchange rate for collecting, yeah, it doesn't make any sense. So, now that we know the loosey-goosey, closed in box. And when I say closed in box, I don't mean sealed. I just mean you've got the box,
mint.
You've got the manual. It's mint. It's minty crisp. What do you think it goes for?
Fuck. Let's go $1.10.
Ooh, 110?
Let's go 80.
Ooh, 80?
Yeah. You always try to trick me. I'm fucking sticking with 80.
Are you sure? Is that your final answer?
Si, senor.
It goes between $45 and $50.
For a mint and box copy? Like construction manual, cardboard, everything?
Yep, that's what
Fuck, I'm moving to the States, man. Fuck healthcare. I need cheap video games.
I need to collect full in box games. Okay, so let's get to some of the fun facts now. This game impressively sold 8.76 million copies worldwide.
Holy balls of donkeys.
This is the fourth best-selling Super Nintendo game of all time.
I think it was also paired with it at some point.
I think you might be right that it was a pack-in game too. I think
could be wrong, but I may be right.
Yeah.
Or I may be crazy. I just might be the lunatic you're looking for. Billy Joel reference.
I do think it was a pack-in game at one point. They had so many different pack-in games. This could have very well been one of them.
Better than Pilot Wings.
So it seems that the original idea for Mario Kart was actually kind of like a sequel for F-Zero. I don't think it was necessarily going to be an F-Zero sequel, but they wanted to basically have the same mechanics of F-Zero, but with 2-player capability because F-Zero is just 1 player. But the problem with the limitations of the Super Nintendo hardware, it wouldn't allow, I guess, F-Zero is really quick. It's a really
super fast.
I can't play F-Zero. I suck at F-Zero. But I guess because of the speed and the track design, they wouldn't be able to have 2 people doing that same kind of course. So from what I understand...
Maybe that's why, because they have the half screen.
Yeah,
Maybe
that's exactly...
because they were concerned about it crashing or whatever. They couldn't fit it on full screen.
Yeah, there was something about that, and that's why they did the half screen with the map and everything. But they used the carts so they could slow it down, and that's why the tracks are shorter, so they could add all the curves and stuff, so it could actually handle what they needed it to do.
Some of the tracks are really short in this. Oh, and one thing I wanted to touch on, too, is that is not the normal 4 tracks that you play in the later games. It's 5 tracks you got to race in.
Oh, yeah. Because of the Rainbow Road and everything, right?
It kind of threw me off. No, like 5 tracks per race. Like per, what the fuck word am I looking for?
Per
circuit.
Per circuit, yeah.
Because normally now it's 4 tracks per circuit.
Oh, maybe I just got confused. That's a mistake. Toby's a dumbass.
No, Toby's awesome. All hail Toby.
So the original characters for the original game were just generic guys in overalls, and they were just different colors, but you couldn't tell them apart because you just saw the back of them. So obviously Nintendo went with more recognizable characters that you could kind of see who they were from behind. So, you got Mario's red hat, Luigi's green hat.
You always want to see who they are from behind, Toby. At the end of the day, let's be real is real.
Yes. As long as I can see the back of their head. So those generic guys used to only throw oil cans out of their carts, and that was the weapons that they were going to use, is the oil cans to.
I'd be okay with that. Besides Luigi having stars all the time.
Yeah. Now it's funny that you and I both love the Koopa, because apparently he was one of the last characters added to the game.
Latest and greatest.
Yep, latest and greatest. And this game is one of the games that uses the Mode 7, which is used in F-Zero, Mario RPG, Mega Man 7, Super Metroid, Super Castlevania 4. It's basically that 3D look.
And that's what made Jenny Bean not feel well.
Yes.
She gets motion sickness pretty easily, and we played this game before. I'm like, well, I gotta get ready for the review. And she wanted to be a part of it, so she's like, oh, I'll help you. I'll play with you. And then she's like, I don't feel too hot. I'm like, okay. And I can't blame her. Like, it can be disorientating at times.
Yeah, it really can be. I know as a kid, so like my mom and my grandma were real big on playing video games with me. And this was one of the ones that my mom just couldn't play. Like she couldn't do the which it's not exactly Mode 7, but it's the same kind of 3D effect, like the Sonic, the bonus levels where you're running around collecting the blue dots.
Same thing pretty much.
Yeah, she can't do those either. Like those just make her sick. And I get it. And she couldn't play Nintendo 64 because of the 3D.
So you're telling me Jenny is getting old.
Yes. No, I love you, Jenny Bean. That's not true. You're young and beautiful. Don't let that mean ass Goobs tell you otherwise. Now I'm just putting words in your mouth. So most of these tracks are actually based on.
Thank God it's not something else.
Ew. Anyways, so most of these tracks are based on locations from the Super Mario World game. So that's kind of like Donut Plains.
Bowser's Castle.
Yeah, the Ghost
Mansion. There's all sorts of shit.
So they kind of have a tie-in to the Super Mario World. The characters are rendered as sprites, and there are, I think there's 16 different angles. So there's 16 different like main sprites for each character.
That seems about right.
So you have the straight on,
you
have
jump, turn is all different.
Yeah, you have the jumps, you have the turns, you have the spin out animation, you have the front view animation for when you use your the rear view mirror look kind of thing. So there's quite a few.
The feather, you get a 360 of your person a couple times.
Oh
when you jump.
yeah. So yeah, there's 16 different angles for each character, I believe. So I've always wondered this as a kid, and I figured it out, I guess. Donkey Kong Jr. Was that kind of a weird addition to this game to you?
I just thought it was Donkey Kong as a youngin.
A youngin. Well, apparently they used Donkey Kong Jr. instead of the Donkey Kong we all know and love, because this was coming out around the 10-year anniversary of Donkey Kong Jr. So they threw.
Makes sense.
Plus, I think it might have been easier to throw him with the T-shirt on, the white T-shirt.
Looks like he's wearing a wrestling singlet.
Yeah, that he does. So yeah, it was just really because of the 10-year anniversary. Aw, they're sentimental. This is pretty impressive. The development team only had 8 people working on this game.
Hell, that's crazy.
It's really wild how like small some of these teams are that develop these games, because being a
is
kid,
that music and everything involved, or
I would assume so.
That's absolutely insane.
Because like as a kid, you would think like, oh, there's like a whole. It's a huge studio with
You're
like
thinking
30
hundreds of people.
Yeah, but no, that's the case with a lot of these games, like the Sonic games and stuff. There's really not that many people developing
nowadays,
these.
they do have hundreds of people working on games, and they absolutely suck shit. That's why we're a retro video game review show.
That's why we can't get out of the past where everything was good, man. We're nostalgic.
Don't take the brown acid, man.
So the staff actually went and test drove go-karts so they could understand the physics before they actually started making the game. How cool is that?
Nailed it. That'd be a fun day at work too.
I was about to say, that's just an excuse to be like, hey, I mean, for research purposes, we got to go drive race go-karts. It's kind of needed. We need to see how they drive and how they handle.
Let me tell you from personal experience, in this summer, I went to a bachelor party and did go-karts, and it absolutely fucking sucked being a bigger man. They put me in a race suit that didn't fit, and I had like rug burn on both of my fucking arms, and everyone was laughing at me. I seriously looked like Donkey Kong in a fucking, like this little tiny cart, and they went 40 miles per hour.
But was it a fun experience overall?
Oh, I was with my boys. Everyone's laughing at me because I'm wearing my kitty cat space shirt t-shirt, and that's all you can see is a kitty cat's floating in space. And so everyone knew they were passing me because I would just let people pass because I'm like, I'm going to fucking kill myself on this thing. I was worried about flipping over because every time I turned, the weight felt like I was going over. But he's like, no, you're sticking to the ground. I'm like, no, I'm not. It was a fun time, though.
You should have taken the Bowser physics into consideration.
Oh, if we could smash people, I would have won.
Just run their asses over, flatten them like a pancake.
If they all took that little tiny mushroom, they'd be all fucked. I should have brought a lightning bolt with me.
Made them all small. So we've talked about there's a Nintendo 64 version, there's the GameCube version. There's been a a Mario Kart on every Nintendo console, sometimes a couple, right? The DS has one, the Game Boy Advance has one.
Sometimes they just re-release the last one.
Yes. But there was supposedly, I don't know how true this is. I saw this only in one source, but there was a Virtual Boy game that was going to be released. And the only records that
give you a fucking headache.
The only records that were out were from a German magazine called The Big N, and it was the August 2000 issue, and it was supposed to be called VB Mario Kart, Virtual Boy Mario Kart, basically.
Oh, what was it called? Scheiße Kart?
Scheiße. Yeah, so that would have been interesting, I guess.
It would be. It would add to, like, what is there, like 12 games for the Virtual Boy? There's a very low amount.
I think North American released only like 12 or 13 or something. It's really, really low. I've got 3 or 4 of the Virtual Boy games.
I feel sorry for you.
We're gonna review Virtual Boy games one day.
Oh yeah, and let me go find that fucking thing up in Canada. It'll probably cost like $700.
I got mine for a pretty good deal.
Yeah, because everything's a good deal in America. So you don't have good health care. Everything else is cheap.
You bitch about that healthcare, but if you cut your arm off right now, they'll give you a fucking new muscly arm.
No, I'll get a fucking Terminator arm. You know what I would do if I had a Terminator arm?
What's that?
I would fucking rage.
The rage meter.
Oh, come on!
So, this is the part of the show where we unleash the fucking rage. How mad does this game make you? We give it a 1 to 10 scale.
You want to go to a Teletubby and punch it in the fucking face and go up to the Sun Baby and punch that in the face too? Because that's how bad we're going to fucking rage right now. Or maybe not. This game might not be too bad.
Do you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. Why not?
Sweet.
I'm giving this game a 3.5 on the rage meter.
Okay, explain, please.
I will. I'm a seasoned vet of this game, so it's just second nature to me to be playing this. If you're a first-time player, you might get a little more raged, or if you're motion sickness, you'd probably be very raged, because this game might do that to you. But at the end of the day, it's not too bad. Like as I mentioned a couple times before, Luigi coming in with that star, that's a piss-off. I'm pretty much giving all this 3.5 to the characters using their weapons all the time. The levels I don't find too frustrating at all because you have them all mapped in your brain since you're a fucking child. You know your characters well. You know, I know Koopa Troopa inside and out. He's a good guy, let me tell you. I'll give you his number if you need it. But yeah, you know how to use the weapons. If someone's coming up behind you fast, drop that green shell behind you. They're gonna spin out and you're gonna fuck off. Pretty much every time I was playing this game, I was lapping the characters. It was absolutely insane. So yeah, 3.5 is where I'm sticking at.
Okay. See, I would like to change my score to a 3.5. I think that's pretty fair, but I'm going to go ahead and tell you what my original thinking was. I had a 4 written down. And I feel like it's the same. It's not really that stressful of a game once you've played it as much as we have, I'm sure.
It gets hard in the 150cc.
Yeah, it gets a little, rough.
There's nothing you can't complain about. As long as you know the tracks, you're good. As long as you hit the R button around the corners, get the boost, you're fine.
I think you're right, though. I think the main frustration comes from the computers getting all the power-ups, those random power-ups all the time.
Or in your fucking way.
Yeah, but you know what? I'll take that any day over that stupid blue shell in the later games. You know, I hate the blue shell.
Such a piss off.
Yeah, so I would
Should we
much
raise
rather...
our thing up just because of like this brought on the blue shell in the future?
we're getting mad out of future games. No, I think, like I said, I would much rather them have this bullshit where they just have their random fucking stars and whatever. But I hate the mud levels. I can't stand the mud levels. They stress me out. And I was talking about how as a kid, I used to let the moles jump on my car because I thought it was funny. But like now as an adult, you're like, God damn it, get off my cart. I'm trying to win. And you're slowing me down. So the moles,
I gotta say,
cute.
I never had a mole on my cart during my whole playthrough. There's several of them.
I don't. It doesn't happen as much now because I know how to avoid them. But like when I was younger, like at first it was cute and it was like, oh, they're bouncing on me, and then it was like, God damn it, they're bouncing on me, and now I can't go.
It's
so,
like a fucking drunk girl at the bar. Get the fuck off me!
What are you doing? Go home.
Your dad loves you. Leave me alone.
So yeah, I think a 4 is pretty fair for raging, and I do think it might be a little bit more for a newbie playing this, especially going back to 16-bit graphics compared to a newer Mario Kart, which at this point, who hasn't played a Mario Kart of some sort?
Everyone's karting, man.
I feel like kids nowadays, if they were going to play like the Switch Mario Kart and then go back to the Super Nintendo, they would think it was garbage just because that's how kids are. But
I don't have to pay for costumes. Can these people dance?
Yeah. Can they do the Carlton?
Why don't they say oof?
But yeah, I think a 4, you gave it a 3.5. But I'm really curious on what kind of overall rating on this game you're going to give it, Goobs.
Oh, let's get into that nice Zen music right now.
Yeah.
Nice and calming.
We're going to give it a score between 1 and 10. 1 being it's terrible, 10 being this is a great game.
Because we're simple folk.
We're simple folk, so we give simple scoring systems. What do you give it 1 to 10? Tell me, Goobs.
8.5.
8.5. Okay, I like it.
I can go back
Why?
to this game any day of the week. If I'm stressed out, Mario Kart. Having a bad day at work, Mario Kart. Jenny making me mad, Mario Kart. If I'm getting overweight, Mario Kart. Just sit down, play this game. I really love this edition of it. Again, it's a ground base for everything that's to come. Has my favorite character in it, Koopa Troopa. He comes back in the later games. You can put him and his buddy in a little fucking Koopa Troopa, pretty much like baby carrier. And that's awesome.
Yep.
But that's later on in the games. The tracks are great in this game. Super fun, easy to learn. Some of them are very difficult at times, especially in the later game. When you get to the Special Cup, Rainbow Cup sucks the fucking dick of a donkey for the first little bit. Once you get used to it, it's fine. You can jump over some things. You can use a special feather. You can complete some laps very fast. And it's very interesting. All the cheats you can do in this game, not really cheats, but shortcuts you can take. There's little breaks in the map that you can find. Or if you use a feather at a certain time or mushroom at a certain time, you can hit a wall and jump super far and jump a whole bunch of shit. Complete laps in seconds. There's so much to this game that I absolutely love it. The music is very, very impressive. Again, the menu music, it's just fun.
Yep.
How can you not love Mario Kart? Great character selection.
Yep.
That's it. I'm going to stop splooging all over the place. 8.5.
So I'm again a little bit above you. I'm gonna give this a 9. This is my favorite racing game.
8.75. Fuck you.
You're messing up our average. You're gonna make it really hard for me to do. This is my favorite racing game on the Super Nintendo. Like hands down. I'm not a fan of F-Zero. I don't like those weird perspective
rock
games.
and roll racing.
I was about to say I don't like those weird perspective games like that or Biker Mice from Mars. And I know a lot of people like those kind of games, but this is the game. I like the FX Stunt Racer game or whatever, but it does not hold up very well at all. I don't know if you ever played that game.
Oh, I definitely have.
Back in the day, that was probably my favorite, but this one has stood the test of time. I think they didn't try to go crazy 3D like that, and I think that was in their favor.
That was a saving grace of this game.
Yeah, the sprite animation looks great. They didn't try to get too crazy with the designs and everything. I think the music's great. It's got great sprites. It's only got 8 characters, but I think for the first game they picked the best 8 characters. I don't think there's anyone that you could have replaced, or this was a good roster to start out with. The weapons are fun. They're I can't think of any.
They only add on top of everything. Like everything just gets grander and grander as it goes.
Yeah, this was a solid foundation for future games. The multiplayer is fun. I told you I could play the multiplayer for hours and have a blast. And like I said earlier, this is the Mario Kart I think of when people, if someone were to be like, oh, you like Mario Kart? It doesn't register Switch, GameCube, or any of the other versions. It's the Super Nintendo version. Of course I love Mario Kart. And then I always get the funny look like, no, Double Dash is the best, or whatever. But yeah, I think it holds up. It's a 9. So are you doing your 8.5 or 8.75?
I'll stick with the 8.5. So the final rating is 8.75.
There we go. We have an average of 8.75. Is
that to outshow me, eh?
Yep. That's exactly what it was. So it's a solid game, and I would recommend this game to anyone that's trying to get into retro gaming or go back and play some of the classics.
Yeah, it's not too expensive. Super fun to play with friends or a spouse or a kid or a cow.
A cow?
Yeah, cows can play games too.
What do cows have to do with it?
Just have the cow vince them.
Finish him.
So this is the part of the show where we hit the finish line and we plug our other stuff, Goobs.
We plug everything. You can go check out the Derailers with my best friend Ripken and my wonderful wife Jenny Bean. Check us out. We're pretty much on every single streaming thing. We're on Spotify. We're on every fucking thing you can find podcasts. If you find us, you can find the Derailers podcast. And we take the train off the tracks every single week, and we have a lot of fun doing so. It's random conversations with best friends, and we have a lot of fun. And you can check out Derailed Wrestling on YouTube. That's Derailed Wrestling. WRASSLIN. Me and Rick can make a whole bunch of random wrestlers, throw them in the ring, and we do it for your enjoyment and wrestling pleasure. Sports entertainment, some may say. Toby, what about you, sir?
Well, it's also been on a hiatus, the Secret Transmission podcast, but it will be back very shortly with a new lineup, a new cast of morons talking about the supernatural,
as
the
long
paranormal.
As it doesn't involve Zinger, we're all in. Hello?
I was trying to think of something funny, but I couldn't.
No, it seriously looked like my computer froze. Got threw you off so much.
Well, it's just hard to be funny when Zinger's involved, so I couldn't think of anything funny. I love you, Zinger. I'm just kidding. But yeah, we talk about conspiracies, supernatural, serial killers, all kinds of goofy stuff with a satire outlook on it. You can find us on all the major podcasting platforms, and you can follow stuff on Instagram and Twitter at Secret Transpod. But Goobs, more importantly, let me tell you about
Our Discord.
The Discord!
Link below in the fucking profile. Join our Discord. We have a bunch of great people in there from all over the fucking world, and we have random conversations every day. If you want to learn more about us, join our Discord. We play Smash Brothers pretty much every Friday unless something comes up. And yeah, if you want to learn more and talk to us more and become one of our best friends like everyone in our Discord, you should go do that.
Yep. And then we also have an Instagram and a Twitter account at Secret Levels Pod. We also have a Facebook page that you need to go like. And then we also have a Facebook group. There's a lot of ways to get a hold of us. Now, Goobs is in certain groups. I'm in the other groups. You'll get a hold of one of us somehow. So if you want to talk to us,
Just
you're
reach
more
out
than
there
welcome.
and touch us.
Just touch us. Now,
Like E.T..
if you want to follow me on Twitter and Instagram, I am at Toby Von Doom. What
And
about
I am
yourself, Goobs?
Goobs at GoobsWN. GOBZWN. And if you want to support the show that you love and you love so hard,
Love us hard.
go to www.tpublic.com/user/secret levels. You can get one of our great t-shirts and put it on your very bountiful chests, men or women. We don't discriminate here. Everyone has
Right.
bountiful chests. I have a very bountiful chest.
Even if you're a Yoshi or a Donkey Kong, you can get a shirt and support
Or if you're a
us.
Toad or a Peach. I want to stick my toad in your peach.
Damn it! I was working on a joke just like that. You beat me to it. You
That's
were
why I'm here.
you were faster at the start line than I was.
My toad finishes faster than yours, good sir. Game over, folks.